Hi, and welcome to the Orange County Library System's Fiber Arts tutorials. I'm Vanya, and I'm going to show you how to knit with 2 fingers and make beautiful jewelry, toys, and fashion accessories with just your fingers and some beautiful yarn. Now you can use any yarn that you like in any color you like. Yarn comes in varying thicknesses, and today I'm going to be using a fairly thick yarn known as a super bulky yarn. You don't need a lot, but you will also need a pair of scissors in order to cut your yarn, and of course we're finger knitting, so we're going to need our hands. Now you can use your right or your left hand. I'm going to be using my left hand today. Now on your yarn you're going to want to find the end. The end is also known as the tail, and I want you to take that tail and just drape it into your palm. You can hold it secure with your thumb. From behind your index finger, you're going to see the rest of your yarn, and this is going to come behind your index finger and in front of your middle finger. Next, it's going to go behind your middle finger and in front of your index finger. Now, if I look at my work so far, I can see that I have 1 loop on each finger, but to finger knit, I need 2 loops, so I'm going to need to go back. Now, I've got my yarn just behind my index finger. I'm going to take that in front of my middle finger, all the way around my middle finger and back on top or in front of my index finger. Now I have 2 loops on each finger. I'm going to take the bottom loop on my index finger, and you can tell it's the bottom because it's the furthest from the tip of your finger. And I'm going to take that over the tip of my finger, leaving the top loop in place. Let's do that again. On my middle finger, I'm going to find the bottom loop, the one that's the furthest from my tip of my finger, and I'm going to go ahead and draw it over the top of my finger and leaving the first loop in place. Once you've done that, you can let your tail go and you can gently tug it to tighten your work. You can also pull the remaining loops down to give yourself room for the next row of loops that you'll be making. Now my tail is in the middle of my index and my middle fingers. So I'm going to take this tail and I'm going to come all the way around the front of my index finger and then behind my middle finger, all the way around my middle finger, and it ends back in the middle of those 2 fingers. I've got the 2 loops again, bottom loop, over the tip of the finger, leaving the top loop, bottom loop over the tip of the finger, leaving the top loop. You can pull these down, and always, if you want, you can pull your tail at the back of your hand to tighten. Let's do that again. All the way around my index finger, all the way around my middle finger, whoop, and then bottom over the top, bottom over the top. Now you just continue to work your stitches in this way by creating figure 8s around your 2 fingers until you've reached the desired length that you'd like your finger knitted cord to be. Finger knitting is a great and easy way to make beautiful statement pieces like jewelry. Of course, you can always make home decor and toys. You can even sew these together for larger garments or cowls. And just continue to work until you're happy with the length. I'm just going to continue to work on that. You can start to see that cord take shape as you start to pull on the end of your work. One of my favorite things to make is bracelets and necklaces. They look thoroughly modern. They're great statement pieces, especially if you make them with a larger yarn. But you can really make anything you like. Alright, now once we're happy with the length, the last thing we're going to need to do is to secure this work. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to take the remainder of our 2 loops still on our fingers, and we're going to take our middle finger, that loop, we're going to take the loop off and on to our index finger. Let's do that one more time. I've got my middle loop right here. I'm going to take it off my middle finger and just drape it onto the index finger. Now I have 2 loops. The bottom loop goes over the top loop, and I'm left with just 1. I can pull on my yarn to tighten it so it's nice and snug. Then I'm going to need to cut the remainder of the yarn. Make sure that you cut enough so that you have equal tails if you're going to be using it for a necklace or bracelet where that's visible. But certainly leave it enough to tie or adorn with beads, however you're going to be using it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and cut. And then I have the new end that I just separated out from the ball. I'm going to thread that through the knot. And then the last thing that you do to even out these stitches and to also secure the ends is just to gently tug. You don't have to pull it really hard, but that's going to tighten the knots for you, and it's also just going to even out your stitches. So there you go. You're left with a beautiful statement piece, and you're ready for gift giving or a night on the town.